economical. It's 2024. We got to move ahead. We can't be wasting money into these legalities that have no basis. We waste so much money. We can use this money. We can put it to work in a good way. We wasted so much money. We lost so much. And that's going to cost. Where are we going to get the money from that? We're going to have to raise taxes. That's our only income. We don't have any more income. So we're going to be working on the roads. A lot of things have been neglected for many years. We patch, we fix, we patch. We need to do everything more up to 2024. We cannot keep wasting money on things that are not worth it. We cannot more rich than what they are. We don't have the money. Fleshman doesn't have the money for that. We need to wake up and we need to start utilizing the money on the infrastructure, the road, the fire trucks, the fire department, things that really matter to us, to the community. We're going to be also this summer, we're going to be hiring 3 lifeguards. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody yet. So we need 3 lifeguards to be with the certificate for the pool. Once again, that in. It's a shame that a lot of people decide in order not to go to Fleischmann's, they go to Arville. When the day that we close the pool on Fleischmann's, which is a Monday, then people that goes to Arville want to go to Fleischmann's on Monday. Why did you close the pool on Monday? Why? For 2 reasons. One, we don't have the money to pay to be open for 7 days when there's only very few of you that come and support the pool. Again, a lot of a lot of people that should be going to the pool, walking distance, they choose to go to Arville. It's only one reason. You want the pool to fail. That's it. Nothing else. We put a lot of time and effort into that pool to make it 100% safe, 100% clean. So it's a shame when people, not everybody, very few people chooses not to support the village that they love. We're also going to be requiring we're going to be put in a position, we're going to need somebody else for the Department of Public Works to work with them for the summer. Because as you know, we want to make sure that all the fields, everything is nice and clean around the village. So 2 people are not enough. And especially the equipment that we have. The equipment that we have is over 20 years old. It's like, we need to upgrade. We need to upgrade. We need to, unfortunately, start investing money in what really matters. We also going to need we're going to be hiring a part-time job for a village clerk assistant. We need another person to help out Diane. So these are things that are happening in the village, and we work on a daily basis, 7 days a week. Stuart and myself. When we, like last time we said, you guys don't have a clue what's going on behind the curtains. and there's a lot of things happening. Um, we will be with the infrastructure that we have, as all of you that have been for a long time in Fleischmann's, the infrastructure is old. We need to have a backup plan that in the event that something happens with the roads, the water, we have a company that we can rely on. And after a lot of research and recommendations, we look into um, choosing Hubble Brothers to be as our emergency responding for when things happen, when emergency happen. They have the personnel, they have the equipment, and they can be here at any time. So these are things that are not going to be approved today because again, we don't have a quorum, but it was on the agenda. Let's see. And I think we have one more thing for fundraising. As many of you knows, we have, Fleischmann's is a pro-housing community. Stuart and I went to Delhi to the mayor's meeting, and we have a representative from the governor's office that came down and met with the mayors. And as we all know, there is a big shortage of housing, not only in Fleischmann, but all around. It's a lot of Airbnbs that happen. So Fleischmann is a pro-housing community. And what that means, once again, it's basically, we are did he say we're number 3 or number 4 on their list from 1 to like 89? 1 being the best, 89 being the one at the end. So I think Fleischmann's was like the 3 or 4th on that list, meaning that we were once of the village of Fleischmann's was the most active on that regard when we sent the letter to the governor. So eventually when grants start opening up, which they should be shortly, Fleischmann's residents are going to be able to apply for this program, pro housing. Anybody that the supermarket, they want to build they want to put a second story on the top of the store. He can actually fill out an application with all the specs and then send it out. And if he's approved, he will have money to put a second floor on that supermarket with the intent of year-round rentals. It's not going to be short-term rentals or Airbnbs. These are going to be for people to come into the area, families that are going to be permanent inflations. We need housing. Somebody that the house is falling apart, they apply. They have money to bring it back to speed, or they have, this program is also going to allow people to knock the house down if it's in really bad shape and bring it back, rebuild brand new. So that was another meeting that we have in Delhi. And for those that don't know, the mayor's group is put together of 10 villages. And basically when we formed this group was with the intent that the county pays more attention to the villages. We're so small, they usually don't pay any attention unless we say, hey, here we are, pay attention to us. The only time that they think about us is when they need to collect money from us. New York State sends so much money to Delaware County from sales tax that they collect from Fleischmann's down in Middletown. And when we formed this group was with the intent that we would like to get a small piece of this. You know, this is an additional money sent out to you because it's sales tax. So if we could get each village, if we can get $100,000, it's 10 villages in Delaware County, it's $100,000 compared to millions and millions of sales tax money that the county gets from the state. So it's nothing to them, but it will be a lot of money for Fleischmann's. And so we meet once a month in Delhi and we talk about different issues. How can we all get benefit from different things happening? So that's what happens once a month, the mayor's meeting in Fleischmann's, in Delhi, I'm sorry. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna open the floor for the public comments. So, go ahead, Natalie.
I have a couple. Just a question, I don't know if you said the word, I think it's about money. In terms of, I don't know if the word tax or the right word, in terms of percentage of people being up to date with their taxes, village, I think that's coming up in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just in terms of, because not that I want people to lose their homes, I don't, but in terms of, are people paying their taxes or at least within a time frame? And I know people are going through difficult something like it. I just was getting said what percentage, you may not know, it's maybe more of a Diane question. In terms of tax delinquency or where we're at collectively.
I can tell you, Marilyn, that I really don't have a number, but there is some delinquent taxes for sure. One of the things is also, once again, the governor put a moratorium on delinquent taxes, and I think that was lifted like a month or 2 months ago. But before that, you couldn't do anything against people that was behind on taxes because of COVID, because of economy, because of inflation, because too many factors. At this point, we, the Village of Fleischmann, the government, and the trustee and the new treasurer that we have, we're working together with a lot of things that we have on hand right now. We are going to be talking to our lawyer eventually and look at the properties that are delinquent. We're going to start sending letters because obviously the village doesn't want to be. We're not in the real estate business. So we're going to be talking to the lawyer for him to start sending letters to these property owners, and hopefully they can come up and pay the money. So percentage, I don't know, but we will be working on it.
Are you registered to vote in this village? Are you part of this village?
I'm in the village.
Are you registered to vote here?
No, because this is not my partner. You pay taxes here? I pay taxes.
Okay, but you're not registered to vote, and you really don't have anything to tell us on what to do and how to do it.
So that's what we have.
No, you're not part of it.
All right, Randy. Okay, Madeline.
Excuse me. I pay taxes here, and I've been doing.
You're not registered to vote. Thank you. You answered the question.
It's not a voting question.
It's not a voting question.
Let me
Yeah, okay.
My taxes are all paid up, all of them, village.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. No one's asking you for questions. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. It's okay.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Excuse me. All right, all I said was that, and I didn't ask a terrible question.
No, I know, man.
This question
Okay.
has been brought up for years. This is not, let me tell you something to you. The last thing I want to do is see somebody lose their house.
Yeah.
People have difficult time.
Yeah.
Sam, did I ask a terrible question?
No.
Okay,
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay.
Anybody else?
The other question I had was that, I know Miguel had left. Is his position being,
No, Marilyn, not yet. Anybody else?
I don't know who's on Zoom, maybe Aaron, I think Aaron's on Zoom. That would be, it's a shame because it's been a while since we've seen the whole board together, like as a group.
You don't even vote. It doesn't matter. The whole board doesn't matter. It has no matter. You should go someplace else. Go to where you vote.
Yes.
And I didn't ask anything terrible.
Marilyn, let me answer your question. Basically, yes, you are right, but you know, if you have, like in the past, you have a whole board of people, you have a mayor, the trustees, what did they do? Why do you want to have people that it's not going to do anything?
No, I was just asking, I was just. in the
Just to answer your question, you know, if you have this much and you accomplish this much, or if you have this much and you accomplish this much, which one would you prefer? Is bottom line
You
that
got one
bottom
civil
line-
engineer that works with sewage. That's me.
Bottom line,
And nobody
Natalie,
else is interested in it.
bottom line is, you know, the village, the board, the mayor, the clerk, we have done and accomplished a lot in the past. Now it's 10 months, a lot. So, you know, and yes, everybody has issues. Everybody has, you know, something that came unfortunately, but we're gonna be working together and hopefully we can get everybody together. But yes, Marilyn, thank you. Anybody else?
Any progress on the New York Forward grant as far as
No.
pulling together the committee?
No.
Do you plan to go forward with that?
If I tell you yes, I'll lie to you, I'm not sure because we are working on other stuff right now.
So it's not a priority?
It's not a priority right now. Justin?
What's the, as you know, I'm behind the, organization of mayors. What's the next step as far as the village actually getting the county to, release some of that money to the smaller?
Well,
villages?
you know, that's a good question. Thank you, Justin. You know, when we first approached the county, unfortunately, the newspaper was, they put a, you know, it was put on the paper when we first approached, when we were thinking about this. And when it got to the person in charge within the county, it wasn't taken very well. You know, she was not very happy with that. So we've been working, we're having conversations, communications with her and why it's important for us to get a little bit of this money.
Is that Mole?
Yes. Yes, and I think as of last week, you know, it was very negative, but as of last week, it looked into more the positive way. So I think we're making some progress. I think we're doing well. Anybody else? Dan?
The budget, will we be able to see the budget before it gets approved?
No, because we want to approve it before you see it. It will be public. So
If it's
yes,
approved.
yes,
So what's the public hearing for the budget?
to approve the budget.
So isn't there public comment during that hearing?
Yeah, but it will be at the end of the meeting.
It's not a meeting, it's a public hearing.
It will be at the end of the hearing, yes, next month.
What's the deadline to have it approved?
Well, it was before the fiscal year of the next fiscal year, which is, you know, next month.
So before June 30th.
Yes. Anybody else? Rob?
Just a quick question, will we be having a parade on Memorial Day?
Yes, thank you, Rob. Thank you. We're gonna have, thank you. We're gonna have the Memorial Day, which is the 26th, Sunday,
That's the street fair.
the street fair.
Memorial Day is the next day.
Todd, we're gonna have Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
On the 27th. Yeah, Monday.
On Monday.
Right, yeah.
Like every year, thank you. And just to remind everybody, after the street fair on Sunday,
Street fair Sunday.
yeah, we're gonna have a band at the Arts Inn,
Mariachi.
and then we're gonna have a mariachi band. So it's gonna be really nice. You know,
And
things
we're gonna
are,
have booze maneuver.
these are things that I wanna thank you, Rob, because you just refreshed my memory. And one of the other things that I want to remind everybody is Heidi and Barbara, they're putting their piece of the wall of peace together. It's a project that they've been working on. Here we have these two ladies trying to gather people. And then we have very few people on the opposite side writing things on the paper all the time, bad mouthing Fleischmans. And the two people that have done this, like Stuart said, and I don't wanna disrespect anybody because I'm not here to disrespect anybody. That's other people's job. One of them doesn't live in Fleischman's, even though she says she's been here for 25 years.
20
But she
Railroad
doesn't
Avenue.
live. Let me borrow that.
20 Railroad Avenue.
At the bottom of that thing that she sent out over to the paper, at the bottom she says Fleischman's. She doesn't live in Fleischman's. So
Is that the same article that we resolved the?
2-3 months ago. Yeah.
Right, that was right.
But-
Why are we bringing that up again?
Well, what I just said,
Because
Justin,
not everyone agreed
Stuart.
that she didn't live here. They
Stuart.
said they should live in
Stuart.
Fleischman's.
Oh,
yeah,
They said, come on.
that was the whole idea,
She lives in
Justin.
Fleischman's.
She wrote down Fleischman. She doesn't live in Fleischman's. She lives in Arbor. So, and once again, the 12430 is wrong. We could go to Halcutt. Fine, they have 12430. They're not village residents. So that's a big misunderstanding. So I just want to make sure that, once again, we have two people working together to bring peace, to bring, positivity into this village. And then we have few people all the time. So you want to move forward, and then you have people pulling you down, but that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, okay? We hear everybody, we respect everybody, but it doesn't mean that we're enemies. We just don't agree with you. And like a lot of people said, democracy is about, freedom of speech. You think one way, I think one way, period. Yes.
I think it's the definition of community. We want people to shop here. We want people to come and use the facilities, and that expands the community beyond the people that just vote. And so you might be here because you want to see prosperity in the village, not necessarily because you're trying to affect the vote or swing an election or take over the town. You would just like to see the community prosper. And so that broadens the context. And if you shut down the people who want to express themselves, you might not agree with them, but that is democracy.
Well,
It's not that they're negative, it's that they're liars.
we're not.
Paul Simone is a liar, and so is Vicky Zerko.
Stuart.
What they said was totally untruthful.
So, okay, Stuart, yeah, Stuart, stop. So, back to business. We just want to make sure that we don't repeat itself. It's enough.
Right.
Stuart, enough.
Okay, so the thing is.
Stuart, enough.
Let me finish.
So we're gonna be.
Sam, let me stop. Okay, the two people that are, the two people that have stepped up and I want to support is Pam and Heidi. And what they came up with last, I'm sorry, Barbara. Barbara and Heidi are the two people that I want to support. They came up with an idea for the symbol of peace for the wall. Last week, Vicky Zerko felt bad that the paper wrote something that wasn't terrible. So she writes, last week's story, Fleischman's seeks unity with the wall of peace, noted by the mayor. What can be wrong with that? How can you take that apart? All these people come to build the wall of peace and you rip it apart like it's worthless. Right, that's what they, let's continue. Noted Mayor Sam Gill. Frequent complaints about negativity in the village. Negativity? How about distrust, anger, and contempt? Gill and every member of the board were elected by non-resident, non-taxpaying. Excuse me, I'm talking.
It was 2 weeks ago in the paper.
Right.
Yeah, it was on the paper.
Okay, what do they expect? Vicky Zerko, you don't vote. You're not part of this. Vicky Zerko, you're not part of the election. But you have to write bad things about the village? It doesn't, Right, but why bother?
Whatever they want
Okay,
to do,
why-
let's move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Move
Randy, thank you.
on.
And what I like about last week's paper is the
Don't
article.
put the negative stuff in there.
Stuart, I like the last week's paper, it was a good thing on the paper for those that read it about the Doolittles. And every time we have a business coming into Fleischmann's, we need to support that business. So with that being said, everybody, go and support the business in Fleischmann's. Please don't be hypocrites. Don't say you love Fleischmann's and you go to Margaretville,
We got
Kingston.
all-
I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry. I'm talking in
Well,
general.
we're talking to people that live here.
I'm sorry.
People in the
And
residence.
don't go to
Sorry.
Oneonta.
You
Go
don't
to
have,
go to the village. Support the different places. Remember one thing. Businesses are here 7 days a week. If the local community doesn't support, we're gonna be out of business. And you're gonna have what?
And you need more than the local community
Okay.
to support them.
Well, we need 7 days a week, and
And
we
you
need
need
the
a lot of
businesses that we
people
can,
coming
second
to you,
homeowners,
too.
exactly. So, but just make sure that, please, support the local businesses. Doolittle's needs your support. East Village needs your support. We need to support these businesses. So, anybody else? Randy?
We were talking about fundraisers, the Arts Inn.
Yes,
Actually, we were approached by Jeff Benton, who's a musician out of Pine Hill, who approached us to do a fundraiser for the library, actually. And we're doing a musical event in July, the date I believe is July 27th, which is specifically a fundraiser for the library. And, just like throwing that out to the community, that support it. One of the other things that we're gonna be doing.
And it's important that all of us, even if we're not village residents, come to their event, we know that, and support the library and support the village.
yeah,
And we all want to do that, but why do we get
Reprimanded.
discriminated against or reprimanded because we don't live in the village?
well, let's make sure that we get that clear. We don't, you're welcome to come. You're more than welcome to come. However, village residents are in charge of the village. I just cannot imagine myself going to the town of Middletown to their meetings or Margaretville and start telling them what to do. I don't live there. That's not my business. My business is here.
Who's telling you what to
What's the
do?
definition?
Exactly.
What's the definition of
telling
a
you what
village
to do?
resident?
Well, village resident is, you're here, they,
What is it? Do you have to vote to be a village resident?
no, you
No,
don't have to vote to
you
be a
know
village
that.
resident. You have to live
No.
here, you have to support the
But
businesses, you
you're
have to
not
be part of the community,
Scam.
okay? So that's why you have to be. And once again, the instigation is not gonna work with me. So,
I bet you
Abraham-
have a-
She got the answer last.
Abraham, go
time.
ahead.
Exactly. There is no issue about helping out, cleaning up, people come over here, people get together. But to take money and to pay the village residents could not vote, and we have to go in court, and she gives money, she's on the list, and they come in court to file us, Barbara. That's what we're talking about.
yeah,
Nobody's saying that they shouldn't, they're not welcome, they are welcome. If they're nice, if they with the residents, there's no issues. They start to do a wall of peace, and then they start to get involved and pay money to black people who are here for over 32 years.
mhm.
That's
So we
he's
don't need to be
he's a
all-
furniture of Fleischmann's. He's a furniture. He got that he's not that he shouldn't vote. He had to go to court, fight for his name.
By supporting Paula, when they tried to make the wall peaceful, they're supporting Paula that what she wrote, and she couldn't write what that means you're not making a wall of peace.
We
You're not
not
making a
done
wall of
nobody
peace.
all the years. You give money to fight. You give money to fight. So we are allowed to ask from
Okay.
the mayor and the trustees.
All right, guys. So, thank you, but once again, everybody, let's try to work together, be part of it.
Okay, well,
You wanna
I
clean
have
up
never
everything,
done
by all
anything
means.
to
The
So,
GoFundMe
all
is
right.
clear.
Yes,
Just
I
go
We're gonna-
online,
I
see
did.
your name.
I
You
know,
get
no, I'm not
$200 to
denying
file. For
them
what?
for 1 minute.
That I'm not a resident?
I'm
That's
not-
what you, that's what you.
I'm not.
All right, so we're gonna go with,
I wanna say one thing, you are in public office and you cannot control everything that gets written about you or said about you. You are in public office.
I'm not controlling
But
anything.
those people cannot come and say.
And
say
I'm not
that-
controlling anything. All I'm saying is,
Is against the human beings.
all I'm
Go
saying
Google the
is,
state, you'll see in 1999, she gave already, she was fighting with the mayor's office already. You know, look, and nothing
Everyone
stopped, and you
has the
support
right
her.
to question.
Look, you didn't do nothing wrong to her.
Public
Her house
service.
was the worst house in
Public
the town.
service
And
in
she
a
will always visit
democracy,
our houses.
you have a right to question.
Yes, you have a right not to,
Hey,
to
no one's
write
trying to
lies,
tell you
lies,
what to do.
lies.
You have a right to ask about the pool, you have a right to
Oh,
ask
thank
about.
you.
Yeah,
But not
it's
why.
open to the public. You're allowed to come, you're allowed to come.
Oh,
Nothing.
Thank you.
Okay,
But don't
so
get
we're
involved in
gonna-
fighting. Residents.
okay, the next,
Wait a minute,
The next-
one minute,
no,
Go ahead.
more time?
Mr. Todd, I'm sorry.
I just want to make 2 comments. Thank you all for those who support the library. I feel this is an integral part of the village of Fleischmann, and I thank you all for supporting it. Secondly, anyone who pays property taxes has a right to ask questions about the situation and the status of paid or unpaid taxes. Period, whether
Yes.
they vote here or not.
Yes,
Tax records are public material. You can review that anytime you want.
yes,
Thank you. for
Thank
saying
you.
that, 'cause I came with that.
okay, and we, and
I do came with that.
I think everybody, including Abe, has been to Doolittle's at least once.
yes,
I've been to
Yes.
Doolittle's.
yes,
You know, it says you sort of peach into the.
I wanna see
Good.
these places.
I'm glad, thank you. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna. The next meeting is gonna be on June.
Going backwards.
I'm going backwards, I like to going back, in the
Yeah,
past.
you better stay around.
It's gonna
keep us
be-
straight.
Okay, bear with me.
Make sure.
It's gonna be June 10th, the next meeting.